Well, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if you know me, you know me. And when I get locked on a certain hobby, I go all in. So what happened was I was having a yard sale and I came across some baseball cards that I didn't even know I had. I had like 200 unopened packs, and the rest is history. Now I've got an office full of baseball cards, but I decided I was going to stick with baseball and Olympic stuff. So I got this box here. This is 1991 Impel Hall of Fame Olympic series. It's a series of 90 cards, but yet the box is got 36 packs with 15 cards in each. So I've went through about 25 of these packs, 26 of these packs to complete a full set of 90 individuals. And the cards are really nice. The cards are really nice. And, like a lot of, you can look on YouTube and you can see a lot of different card reveals. And, people show you what's in that. What's called ripping a pack. They'll take a pack and they'll rip it open and show you what's in it. And we're not going to do that. We're just going to basically focus on what some of these cards, and especially I want to pay homage because all the card videos you see basically focus on baseball, football, basketball, but we're going to focus on track and field. In this card set, there's a lot of track and field athletes. There's like out of the 90, there's like 26 of them. They focus really heavily on the Miracle on Ice, the 1980 hockey team. So there's a lot of cards dealing with that, as you can see. The coach Herb Brooks right there. So there's a lot of different cards, and then they have a lot of contributors, Olympic contributors. like Leroy Walker. We'll talk about him in a second. Jim McKay from ABC Sports, Bushnell, and, Rune Arledge from ABC. There's a lot of different cards here. But, we're going to focus on it. So the main thing on this card set was hockey, figure skating, a little bit of gymnastics, track and field was prominent. But let's dive into it. This is where I want to pay my homage to. And you can see, here's what the packs look like. This is an unopened one. I have about 10 extra packs that I didn't open. I'm going to just save them for years and see what happens. But you can see, here's an example of, this is card number 1, Jesse Owens. And obviously we know about Jesse Owens and his exploits. Proving Hitler's race dominance theory was a load of you-know-what. If you ever get a chance to go to Germany, Berlin, I definitely advise you to go to Berlin Stadium and see the grounds, because all those archival films of Hitler's rallies and all that kind of stuff are still there. And if you get to go inside the stadium, the Tunnel of Tears still exists. The Tunnel of Tears is where Hitler went into the tunnel to cry because his race superiority, his area superiority theory was falling apart in front of his eyes and the whole world's eyes. Because remember, the 1936 Olympics was the first Olympics that was actually televised. So anyway, so you can see that each card has a picture of the front, a nice black and white picture. Some have color. And then on the back, a little history about the athlete, stuff like that. Jim Thorpe, rather. Famous athlete that was denied Olympic medal because he was an American, a Native American, but he had been a professional athlete, had gotten less than $10 to be a professional baseball player, and they deemed him a professional, so he was not allowed to compete in the Olympics, or he competed in the Olympics, but then his medal was taken away later. After he had died, his family was given back the medal. So very famous story. Al Order, Mr. Olympics himself. This man was in like 4 Olympics, made 4 Olympic teams, gold. You can see right here, gold. He was Mr. Olympics. He just was unstoppable. Amazing individual. Never met him, but yeah. Bob Mathias, I think I have been in a room with him, but I don't remember meeting him. Decathlete, one of our first decathletes we'll see in this pack. But he was also gold medalist in 1948 and 52, London and Helsinki. Babe Dietrichson. Now, the Babe is famous. There have been movies about her. She was quite the athlete, professional golfer. She could do a lot of different sports. She was something else. And her real name was Mildred Ella Dietrichson. So, but her nickname was the Babe. So there you go. A little trivia for you. Wilma Rudolph, the darling of sprints before FloJo. She was amazing. A lot of people don't realize that Wilma actually was afflicted with polio as a child, and for her to come back and win gold medals and be one of the fastest women in the world after suffering polio as a child is a testament in itself. I have this picture hanging in my office as homage to the shoulders on which I stand upon. So there you go. Rayford Johnson, met him many times. Wonderful young man. Well, not young man, wonderful individual. And Rayford was a UCLA guy. I won't hold that against him, but he was just a pillar of athleticism and humanity. He was one of the key individuals that teamed along with the Kennedy family to start the Special Olympics. So Rayford Johnson, amazing individual. And there's also even a more amazing story about him and C.K. Yang, who became best friends. They were competitors, became best friends. And I actually have in my office, I'm looking at it right now, a wooden javelin in my office hanging on a wall signed by C.K. Yang. It's a long story. He was just wandering around at the Olympic Training Center one day, and I was there in the office early, and I saw this guy, and I was like, he looks familiar. And then we started talking, and it was him. And I don't freak out when I see celebrities, but I freaked out that day. Bob Beamon, great guy. And this is, of course, the jump, the world record that he jumped in 1968 in altitude. A lot of amazing things happened in 1968. And the one thing I will say about this pack is that missing is some of those key moments and some of those individuals that probably should be included in this set. It's only a 90 card set, and I think they could have gone much further with, if they're talking about Hall of Fame, you could have included Tommy and John Carlos. You know, feel the way you want to feel about what they did on the podium. In retrospect now, it makes perfect sense. But more importantly, their accolades on the track and leading up to the track, the world records they broke 11 world records in 1 month, you know, but leading up to the up to the game. So they were amazing individuals, and they deserve a card for sure. Bob Beamon, amazing individual, completely, his PR before that was only 27 feet, completely bypassed 28 feet and went straight to 29 feet. Amazing. If you want to know how long a 29 feet is, that's like a car and a half, a SUV and a half. That's how far he jumps. Anyway, Ray Emery, another jumper. He was in the first few Olympics, 1900, 04, and 08. Gold medals from the standing long jump. You had 2 long jumpers in a row there, standing long jump. Yeah, so the Olympics has changed a little bit, and there's a pretty good homage to some of the old timers and some of the things they did. Bob Richards, pole vaulter, you know, gold medalist, bronze medalist, London, Helsinki, and Melbourne. Yep. And my man, Harrison Dillard, we call him Bones, Harrison Bones Dillard. Now, he's interesting because he's also gold medalist in the hurdles, in my event, but he was also a gold medalist in the 100. He's one of the only hurdlers that I know at World Championships or Olympics that ever won a sprint title and a hurdle title. So he was in the 100 meters, 4x1 relay, and then the hurdles as well. So 1948 London and 52. Really nice guy. Passed away a few years ago, but I had the opportunity to meet him. Perry O'Brien, another shot putter, great guy, fellow Trojan, fight on. Frank Shorter, well known, the mustache. The marathoner, he competed in 2 marathons, gold and silver. Yes, gold and silver. 72 in Munich, the famous Munich Olympics that happened. The hostage, the Israeli hostage and massacre that happened there, and then '76 was the African boycott. But can't take anything away from Frank. He won it. There you go. Frank Wyckoff. Now, a lot of people might not know. Now, you can see on this card they blocked out the SC shield. But if you ever watch the movie Chariots of Fire, he was one of the individuals that they focused on when that was getting ready to compete against Harold. I can't remember Harold's last name from England, but he was one of the American sprinters that the two English athlete that the film was about were concerned about, that they were in top shape and they were some of the people that they had to really watch out for. But Frank Wyckoff was one of them, and we'll see the other one in a second. But yeah, another Trojan guy. He was gold medalist in relays. He didn't get an individual gold medal, but yeah, he was there. Bill Toomey, I've met him many times and hung out with him in a few different events. Decathlete, another one of our decathletes coming around here. Bill was a gold medalist in 1968, again, Mexico City. Altitude, which says a lot about Mexico City. There were some amazing events that came out of that thing. Billy Mills, the famous Billy Mills, 10,000 meters. A gold medalist in 1954 Tokyo, surprised everybody. Great guy. I've met him a few times. And my buddy, my flying buddy, my friend, we've gone on vacation together, the great Edwin Moses. What can you say about Edwin? Edwin, 209 races or 218 races, a streak, not beaten in that many years. Was it 9 years, 9 months, and 9 days before he got beat? I think that's what it was. He now has a movie out called 13 Steps that's going around the world. It's doing quite well. I saw It's great. It's a great documentary. But Edwin was gold medalist in 76, 84, and then in 88, Andre Phillips got him, and he got the bronze there. Wyoming Tyus, wonderful lady, was married to a Puma representative, Art Sinberg. Went to his house when I was a freshman at USC to get some shoes. Now that I'm retired, I can tell you I was sponsored as a college athlete early in my career as a freshman with Puma. When you walked into their house, they had a mosaic tile Olympic rings thing in their foyer, and it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. And I always said, if I have a big enough house, I wanted to do that. Well, I probably don't have that big enough house yet, but it was amazing. But Wyoming Tyus, 64 and 68, she was also, when you really do the research about the 1968 Olympics, you'll see that there were some other protests. Tommy and Johns was the most famous, but some of the women did some things. They protested on stand. Lee Evans, we'll see him in a second, did some protesting. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff has happened in the Olympics. All right, so Alvin Kraislin, a hurdler. Look at the hurdles back in those days. God, I'd leave a lot of DNA on that hurdle. Those hurdles were brutal looking. No wonder he's so high. You don't want to hit that thing. But he was in the 1900s, the inaugural Paris Olympics. So, yeah, he gold medal, 4 gold medals in the 60 meters, the 110 hurdles, the long jump, and the 200 low hurdles. Quite the athlete right there. A U of Penn athlete. Ralph Boston just passed away this last year. Amazing athlete, amazing humanitarian, great guy, and rock solid. He's kind of like me. Did a lot of stuff in the Olympic level, but nobody really knows a lot. Selfish plug there. Maybe one day I'll get in the Hall of Fame. Anyway, but yeah, he was a long jump gold medalist and 60. Silver, 64, and 68 got the bronze. So he got the trifecta. He got the trifecta of medals. He got the full set. So Ralph Boston. And then, of course, we know Bruce Jenner. Bruce Jenner, Wheaties box, and greatest athlete alive at the time. As a, if you win the decathlon, that's what you're considered the greatest athlete alive. And yeah, controversial figure later in life with the Kardashians, and now he goes by the name of Caitlyn Jenner. So there you go. And that's all I'll say about that. Um, Glenn Davis, another hurdler, intermediate hurdler. I knew of him, never met him, because I knew of a young, of a gentleman that was his teammate. I dated his daughter, and he told me all about Aubrey Lewis's daughter, Lauren, and he used to talk to me about Glenn Davis and how good of an athlete he was. So, but I never met him. So it's cool to have a card of him. Value on cards like this, Olympic cards, I don't know if they're going to be that valuable, but baseball cards are, in football and soccer now, and Pokemon cards, they're valuable now. There's a lot of money to be made in card collecting. I just got a card the other day from my son, one of the 2024 Olympic cards that's worth $130. It came in a set, so I was really jazzed when we opened that set. It's pretty cool. Anyway, Mal Whitfield, I've heard of him and talked to him many times, talked about him many times to many people, but never met him. But yeah, there you go. Lee Evans, oh my God, Lee was a great guy. Yeah, he passed away. That all goes well. A journeyman coach. He coached down in Africa, a lot of different places, but he was great. This man could fly, and he wasn't really a tall guy, but boy, he could fly. He had a huge stride for such a short guy. But yeah, Lee was an amazing athlete, part of that 1968 San Jose State Speed City, Bud Winters and Harry Jerome, Harry Edwards. Yeah, a lot of drama over there, and amazing characters up there. John Carlos, Tommy Smith, Lee Evans, they were all good friends, teammates, and it's probably like a track meet every day at practice. It was kind of like that for me at USC. Bobby Joe Morrow, the 100 sprinter. I almost said he's a distance runner. So gold medalist, 3-time gold medalist in Melbourne, 100, 200, and relay. Very cool. Mel Shepherd again. Mal was 08, 12, gold medalist in the 1500 so doubled there. Then lended his skills to the 4x4. So I included Leroy Walker in this because Leroy, I've known Leroy, he's a great guy. He was the president of USA Track and Field, what's now called USA Track and Field. It was the TAC, AAU, USA Track and Field went through a few names before they landed on USA Track and Field, what they are now. But Doc Walker, he was like a father to a lot of us that were coming up during that time in the 80s running track. Lee Calhoun, glad to see his picture. He doesn't get that much respect. Two-time 110 hurdler, gold medalist. Roger Kingdom equaled that mark. Yeah, I was in those races. Roger tied Lee Calhoun to be double gold medalist. Lee was double 56 and 60. Amazing individual. And then another hurdler, my buddy, have another picture of him in my office, Willie Davenport. He was a 3-time Olympian like myself. He got gold medal in 1968 in Mexico City, but he also was a Olympian. He was one of the first Olympic bobsledders that were coming over from track to winter sports. So amazing individual, a military man, really was fighting Congress to try to get all of us Olympians recognized as, well, I shouldn't say recognized, to be allowed to be buried at military funerals like Arlington and stuff like that, because we had served our country. I don't think it got that far, but it was a valiant effort and nice thing that he tried to get done for us. Don't know if I would be buried at Arlington. I think I'd like to maybe my ashes or be buried at sea or something. But Willie he was a great guy. He was one of my big mentors. I miss him a lot. So. And Charlie Paddock. Here's the other person in the movie, another SC guy. In the movie, the Chariots of Fire. This is the speed demon that Harold was really concerned about, and he went on to win the gold medal and beat Harold in 1928. Yeah, 1920 in Antwerp, and then again and got the relay medal as well. And that's the card set. You know, you always get the cheat sheet to show you who's on what card number and everything. But that's it. That is the card set. So yeah, if you ever want to get an interesting, fun hobby that doesn't really cost much to get into it, I think I paid like $25, $30 for this whole box. And you know, with 90 cards in the set, and you get 15 cards in each set. You know, obviously this was a box set that would be in some store, and some kids would pay a couple dollars for, or maybe 50 cents for each pack, and you get them and trade them. But yeah, that's the new hobby. So thanks for listening in, and there you go.